This is the L2C Media Network, and this is Sports Final, brought to you by the L2C Media Network. I'm Harry von Stuttgart, your announcer. And yes, it is, madam. Yes, it is. And this is where I get to introduce, as soon as he decides to finish feeding his little cat a little treat. There you go. Anyway, we got a great show for you tonight. Glad you could be with us. And speaking of being with you, here's the one, the only. The Stever. All right, how you doing, everybody? It is I. All right. Let's take off things so we can show ourselves on camera. Hey, how you doing? Good evening, everybody. Steve Baxley here. Welcome. The Baxman cometh, and he cometh bearing giftos. And that gift is some sporty balls, of course. So right now, good girl. So there we go. We had to delay for a bit to pop up our reasoning. So let's get to it. All of our scores are sponsored in part by Caesars Sportsbook. Remember, we are all Caesars. That's right. We're all Caesars. We're glad to have you. Let's thank you. Let's get to the NBA. Start our basketball little clinico. There we go. A little that way, please. A little that way. We got white balance things. Okay, minute 13 seconds left to play in the third. It is Spurs 80, Trailblazers 65. Final scores, and we got a ton of them. Chicago Bulls beat the New York Knicks 119-115. The Toronto Raptors defeated the defending NBA champion Milwaukee Bucks 97-93. Memphis Grizzlies over the Oklahoma City Thunder. 152-79. Wow. That is a record. Phoenix Suns defeated the lackluster Detroit Pistons by a score of 114-103. And that is that. Let's go now to some women. There we go. Let's get to some women's hooplas. Can we get to the women? Yes. Can we get to the women? Of course we are. Here we go. Boom. Okay. Can we get the full scoreboard? There we go. Let's get to it. All right. The crew is working good. That's right. The crew is working good. Here we go. Number 2 ranked North Carolina State over 6 ranked Indiana, 66-58. Number 8 ranked Maryland over Miami, 82-74. Duke over 9th ranked Iowa, 79-64. 10th ranked Louisville beat 12th ranked Michigan 70-48. UT of Arlington over 13th ranked South Florida 61-56. LSU over 14th ranked Iowa State 69 to 60. 20th ranked Georgia a 66-56 winner over Texas Tech. 24th ranked Notre Dame beat Michigan State 76-71, and 25th ranked Florida State over Illinois 67-58. That is incredible. Now, let's get going to some NC2A men's college hoopla. We've had one postponement. Washington and 11th ranked Arizona did not play tonight. Do we have any more of the men folks? That was it. That was it for the NC2A men. That's right. Washington, Arizona postponed. Wow. Okay, so let's get to the G League and see if we can't get at least more things to talk about. Okay, let's do her tour. Two games in the G League. Westchester Knicks over the College Park Skyhawks, 123-102. And the Austin Spurs over the Greensboro Swarm, 108-105. And folks, that is our first that is our first sports segment right there, basketball. Let's gird our loins, folks, and get you over to the NHL and get all the scores from them. You see, we start slow, we build big. All right. Lone game still in progress. 13-19 left to play in the second period before the second intermission, and the Calgary Flames lead the Los Angeles Kings 3-1. Final scores with the 3 stars of Molson Cup selection. Florida Panthers beat the Buffalo Sabres by a score of 7-4. Huberdeau for Florida, 1 goal and assist. Ekblad for Florida, 2 goals and an assist. Florida, 1 goal and 3 assists. Let's keep going. In a shootout, Linda Steele Chicago Blackhawks beat the Washington Capitals by a score of 4-3. DeBrincat for Chicago, 1 goal, 1 assist. Hathaway for Washington, 1 goal and 1 assist. Dowd for Washington, 1 goal, 1 assist. What a wonder. Avalanche beat up on the Les Canadiens de Montreal 4-1. Burakovsky for Colorado, 1 goal. Makar for Colorado, 1 goal. And Charot for Montreal, 1 goal. Senators blasted the Carolina Hurricanes by a score of 3-2. Norris for Ottawa, 1 goal. Forsberg for Ottawa, 47 saves. And Svikov for Carolina, 1 livable goal. The defending Stanley Cup champion, two-time. Tampa Bay Lightning, well, they beat up on the Blues 4-2. Hedman for Tampa Bay, 2 goals and assists. Ciarelli for Tampa Bay, 1 goal, and Thomas for St. Louis, 2 assists. Final in overtime, San Jose Sharks over the New York Islanders, 2-1. Carlson, he did do your doorman good. San Jose, 1 goal. Bonio for San Jose, 1 goal, and Sorokin for the Islanders, 33 saves. Bruins over Predators 2-0. Swayman for Boston. He knew the sway. 42 saves. Carlo for Boston, 1 goal. And Saros for Nashville, 31 saves. We keep going. Minnesota Wild over the New Jersey Devils, 5-2. Hartman for Minnesota, a goal and 2 assists. Keprizov for Minnesota, 2 goals and assists. Pitlick for Minnesota, a goal. Dallas Stars over the Columbus Blue Jackets, 3-2. Robertson for Dallas, 2 goals. Hakanpää for Dallas, 2 assists. And Tarasov for Columbus, 34 saves. And that, ladies and gents, for want of a better word, is your NHL scoreboard. Right now, let's go some minor league action. And for that, we go straight to where else but the fun, the thrills, and the aggregate. That's right, the American Hockey League. And let's check out only one game in the American Hockey League. Chicago Wolves beat the Iowa Wild 2-0. Let's check in the Ontario Hockey League. Hey. And 5 games. That's right, 5 games for tonight in the OHL, and they are as follows. We're over Ottawa, 6-1. Kingston over Peterborough, 6-5. Flint over Saginaw, 3-0. Barrie over Hamilton, 3-2 in overtime. And finally, Erie over Windsor, 5-4. Let us do something we have not done for the minor leagues that we do for the majors. That is, take you to the standings. In the Eastern Division, it is the Hamilton Bulldogs with 28 points, Kingston Frontenacs with 27, Ottawa 67s with 24, Oshawa Generals with 21, and the Peterborough Petes, they're getting better. They're at 17 points in last place. Central Division, North Bay Battalion with 28 points. Mississauga Steelheads and the Barrie Colts are in a somewhat virtual tie with 24 points. Mississauga in second, Barrie in third. Sudbury in fourth place at 17 points, and Niagara Ice Dogs with 13 points in fifth. In the Midwest Division, London Knights 31 points, Guelph Storm 28 points, Owen Sound Attack 21 points, Kitchener Rangers in fourth place with 18, the Erie Otters dead last. By the way, it's still early. They got 13 points. In the Western Division, the Sioux Greyhounds with 24 points. Flint Firebirds at 21. So, too, the Saginaw Spirit. In third, there's 21 points. Windsor Spitfires with 20 points. And Sarnia Sting dead last with 19 points. That is wild. Okay, so you're saying to yourself, great. What about the National Hockey League? How about you doing that? Okay, we will, ladies and gentlemen. I'll just give you the points. In the Atlantic Conference, in the Eastern Conference, the Atlantic Division, Toronto in first, in a sort of a first place tie with Florida, both with 35 points. The defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning in third with 30 points. Detroit fourth with 27. Boston fifth with 24. Buffalo sixth with 19. Montreal seventh with 14. And Ottawa dead last with 11. Yep. In the Metropolitan Division of the Eastern Conference, Washington with 34, Carolina 31, as are the New York Rangers. Pittsburgh in fourth with 25, Columbus in fifth with 24, New Jersey sixth with 22, Philadelphia seventh with 20, and New York Islanders in last with 13. In the Western Conference Central Division, Minnesota number one, St. Louis with 33 points, St. Louis with 27, second, Dallas third with 26, Colorado and Nashville tied with 25, fourth and fifth respectively. Sixth place Winnipeg at 24, seventh place Chicago with 18, and last Arizona. In the Pacific, it's Edmonton with 32 points, Calgary in second with 31, Anaheim third with 29, San Jose fourth at 27, Vegas fifth with 24, Los Angeles sixth with 22, Seattle seventh with 18th, and Vancouver also has 18 points. And there you go, the NHL standings, the hockey standings, right there in a nutshell. I probably won't. And tomorrow, we will give you the hockey standings. It's going to be very good. I'm going to put my gum right over here. So, okay, let's go from the hardwood to the hard synthetic ice. And get to the NHL scores. Or did we do that already? Yes, we did. We did the NHL. We did the NBA. So there you go. So we're okay. So right now, let's get you to a little promo ad board. And that promotional ad board is for Nick Rekieta. The humble Minnesota attorney will be doing his thing for posterity and for fame. That's right. Nick Rekieta has Lost Bleeding Interwebs tonight, midnight Eastern, 11 Central. And tonight, Gage DUI Watch Party, oral arguments from the Supreme Court. So, folks, that's with Nick Rekieta and his guest. They are covering another trial. No, it's not the one we were hoping for. Nope, that's got a extensive and expansive media gag order. So they're doing another little courtroom drama. So there you go on that side. Okay, Nick Rekieta tonight. Rekieta Law Channel here on YouTube, midnight Eastern time. Okay, let's get you update with some news headlines, sports news headlines. LeBron James is expected to return to the Los Angeles Lakers lineup tomorrow against the Los Angeles Clippers after being in the NBA's health and safety protocol since Tuesday. James returned 2 negative PCR tests within 24 hours and has been deemed eligible to play again by the league. James revealed in September that he is vaccinated against COVID-19. It was originally reported 2 negative COVID tests. The missed game against Tuesday will be the only one he'll be sidelined for. Now, this is positive news. Let's face it, it's the only positive news for the Lakers. There we go. As James has already missed a substantial amount of time this season due to issues with both his right ankle and an abdominal strain. He has missed 11 of the Lakers' first 22 games, including 1 game suspension due to an altercation with Tristan's Isaiah Stewart. Getting him back in the lineup so quickly will boost the Lakers squad that hasn't gotten out to the greatest start this season, especially considering how integral LeBron is when he's on the floor. Now, when he has been in the lineup, James has been the best player on the floor for the Lakers. He averages a team high 25.8 points per game, and the Lakers are 7-4 in games he's played. Now, that doesn't mean he's been immune to the effects of aging, though. James has made only 48.4% of his field goal attempts this season, the lowest mark for him since the 06-07 campaign. He's still adjusting to the presence of Russell Westbrook, who is still trying to find his footing on this Lakers squad. The Lakers sit at number 6 in Western Conference right now with a 12-11 record. But with James coming back sooner than expected, LA can hopefully begin to make up ground after a shaky start to the season. Yahoo! Okay, we got some NFL news for you, and it looks like the Buccaneers are in a little bit hurt now. Antonio Brown has missed the Buccaneers' last 5 games while recovering from an ankle injury. Now he's guaranteed to at least miss 3 more. The National Football League announced Thursday that Brown is one of 3 players who will be suspended 3 games for violating the league's COVID-19 protocols, specifically for misrepresenting their vaccination status. The Tampa Bay Times in November reported allegations from Brown's former live-in chef at the longtime wide receiver had sought and obtained fake COVID-19 vaccination cards. Brown quickly denied the accusations through his attorney, who explicitly said his client was vaccinated, and the Buccaneers announced they had found no irregularities with any players' vaccination cards. But the NFL announced Thursday that Brown, along with Buccaneers defensive end Mike Edwards and former Buck wide receiver John Franklin III, are all being suspended precisely because of misrepresented vacation statuses. Oh boy. Brown's attorney, Sean Burston, maintained Thursday that Brown is vaccinated against COVID-19, which isn't mandated by the NFL, but enables players to enjoy loosened restrictions in accordance to COVID protocols. Brown was already expected to be sidelined another 2 weeks with his injury, per NFL media reports, but will only officially be eligible to return on December 26 when the Buccaneers visit the Panthers in week number 16. Speaking of the National Football League, Wappa Wappa, the Cowboys gave it to the Saints, and the Saints now see their chances at the playoffs dimmed even further. Things didn't start out on an ideal note for either offense, with both teams stumbling due to a mix of good defense and poor execution en route to the Cowboys, handing the New Orleans Saints a 27-17 loss at Caesars Superdome. It was Dak Prescott and company who drew first blood on a drive in the first quarter that looked a lot like the usually prolific group the NFL has become accustomed to seeing from Dallas. Big plays coming from both Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, who both returned in Week 13, and capped off by a twisting touchdown catch by Michael Gallup. Not to be outdone, Taysom Hill went to work with the goal of making a case for himself as permanent starter for his Saint, and he got help from wideout Liv Jordan Humphrey on a 24-yard touchdown to open the second quarter. But just when you thought it would become a barn burner, things cooled down offensively once again. The Cowboys are currently nursing a 6-point lead. The Saints hope they can prevent from becoming anything more, especially considering Dallas will have the first offensive possession of the second half. Hill and the Saints threatened to hit pay dirt for a second time in the first half, but rookie sensation Micah Parsons and the Cowboys' defense would have none of it. Parsons dropped back in coverage on 2nd and 10 from the Dallas 26-yard line to deliver a pass breakup that nearly landed harmlessly onto the turf, if not for safety Jaron Kearse diving while simultaneously dragging both feet to secure an eye-popping interception at the Dallas 5-yard line, grabbing a takeaway that served as a gut punch to Hill. Things didn't start off much better for the offense early in the third, with the Cowboys going 3 and out on their first possession of the second half before Hill found himself having his way on the subsequent drive for the Saints, but it ended with a field goal by kicker Brett Maher. But just like that, electricity found its way to the boys in blue when running back Tony Pollard exploded for a 58-yard touchdown run that New Orleans had no answer for. Hill attempted to impose his will yet again by way of an unforgettable hurdle over safety Demonte Kazi, but Parsons introduced himself yet again. A critical third down sack, giving him 10 on the season. That takedown opened the fourth quarter with a bang, but there weren't much or many more to be seen offensively, and largely because it was the defense's controlling much of the game. So by the time Prescott made the mistake of making an ill-advised throw that became easy pickings for cornerback Marshawn Lattimore, with an interception giving Hill yet another chance to try and make something happen, but unfortunately for the Saints, he couldn't. Because his second interception of the evening on a throw tipped by Jordan Lewis and caught by safety DeMonte Kazi was followed by a third, giving Trevon Diggs his ninth INT of the season, and then a fourth, a pick six by defensive lineman Carlos Watkins to effectively bury New Orleans in their own stadium. Wow. Embarrassed. Totally embarrassed. Okay. Lincoln Riley has swayed another one of his commits at Oklahoma to join him in Los Angeles for Leek Brown, a five-star running back and the number 33 overall player in the class of 22, announced on Twitter he is committed to play for Riley at USC. The 5'8", 185-pound running back from the football factory Mater Dei High School in Santa Ana, California, was previously committed to the Sooners when Riley was the coach. Brown was one of 6 Oklahoma commits to decommit from the school shortly after news broke of Riley's departure. Gabe Brooks, Midland region recording analyst from 24/7 Sport, provided the scouting report on Brown. He's not bad. Brown joins 5 class of 2023 quarterback Malaki Nelson as ex-Oklahoma commits who have pledged to play for Riley with the Trojans. Nelson, like Brown, is also a SoCal prospect. Nelson is a star signal caller from Los Alamitos, California High School. There ye go, F. And I mean, there you go, F. All right. Let's keep going. One brief NFL note, Patriots tight end. They have a good reason not to play for a game. Or not, let's try that again. Can we punch that up, boys? Please, punch up. Hunter Henry has a good excuse why he might be skipping a game at some point during the crucial December stretch. His wife, Henry and his wife Parker, are expecting their first child, and the baby's due date is in December. So there you go. And our final little news story, Major League Baseball Commissioner Rob Manfred spoke to reporters on Thursday morning, just hours after team owners voted unanimously to lock out the players and trigger the league's first work stoppage since 1994-95. Though the lockout coincided with the expiration of the collective bargaining agreement, it should be noted that negotiations could have continued without shutting down the league. Manfred alleged that the league didn't observe a sense of urgency from the MLB Players Association to make a deal. Locking out the players, Manfred claimed, was the owner's way to apply pressure on the union and make progress in negotiations. That Manfred puts the blame squarely on the Players Association should not come as a surprise to anyone. After all, he works for the owners. Union Chief Tony Clark, who later spoke at his own press conference, said that the lockout won't pressure or intimidate players into a deal that they don't believe is fair. Now, here are the 4 takeaways from Manfred's first press conference on the lockout. Now, despite Manfred's stated desire to hasten negotiations, the 2 sides have not scheduled any new meetings since the lockout commenced. Wednesday's supposed last-ditch effort to avoid a lockout saw the 2 sides meet for all of 7 minutes. Both parties are scheduled to depart from Dallas, Texas on tonight. Clark, for his part, said it would have been beneficial to the process to have spent as much time negotiating in the room as it appeared was spent on the letter. Number 2, Manfred's statement used the legal term defensive lockout, which essentially means the league feared the players would strike. Manfred confirmed as much during his press conference, noting that playing without the new CBA in place would have made the league vulnerable for a strike. In layman's terms, Manfred and the owners wanted to prevent the players from gaining leverage by having that option at their disposal. Now, throughout the negotiations, the two major points of emphasis appeared to be the team's anti-competitive behavior, the now outdated player compensation model. Manfred, at minimum, confirmed that neither side's proposals have included any actual on-the-field changes, including seemingly the universal designated hitter. It's unclear if any rules changes will be folded in at a later date. In spite of all of the above, Manfred stated that he remains optimistic the season will not be compromised and that games will not be canceled. Now, this is the fourth lockout in MLB history. Each of the first three were resolved within 40 days, and none of them saw Major League Baseball cancel or postpone a regular season contest as a result. So, we're still here, folks. We're still having fun, and we are the one. Hey, 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 hey. All right. And in golf, as we go to the golf, in the Hero World Challenge after round 1. All right, can we go back to one spot? Thank you. Rory McIlroy is in a 3-way tie for a lead after the first round.
And if you're eligible for a booster shot and you talk to your doctor and that's what you want to do, then go for it. But my goodness, if we're talking about domestic travel vaccine requirements, let's forget about what we just talked about regarding Germany. I think that what we read in the Atlantic,
a lot of people have been asking, why can't Major League Baseball use any players' names, images, or likenesses in any capacity? Well, we'll try to explain. Now, as of early Thursday morning, Major League Baseball officially entered the lockout. As a result, the league is unable to use any player's name, image, or likenesses in any capacity. Head to any MLB team's official website or MLB.com. It's going to look different than it usually does. Now, you can any team roster on their respective websites, but all photos of players have been removed. Now, it's worth noting that you can still find images of the coaching staffs around the league since coaches aren't included in the players' union. This is all a result of a legal issue about labor law, MLB Commissioner Rob Manfred said on Tuesday. Another example of the stipulation is that teams are being forced to remove signage from ballparks that feature players. Take the Philadelphia Phillies, for example. They put up a banner in front of Citizens Park celebrating Bryce Harper being named the 2021 National League MVP less than 2 weeks ago. As of Thursday morning, the banner was taken down. That's right. And another part of the league's online presence being altered by all of this is that specific details of upcoming promotional events during the 2022 season look different. If you go to a team's website to look at their 2022 schedule, you'll notice details are slim on giveaways. Wow. Now, in addition, team websites were completely altered. No current news about player transactions can be found. Instead, you'll see content on the best players in a team's history, as well as Commissioner Rob Manfred's letter to baseball fans that was posted once the lockout began on every team site. Wow. That is wild, isn't it? Mm-hmm. And in college football, add Virginia to a list of teams looking for a new coach. Cavaliers announced that Bronco Mendenhall has resigned as coach after 6 seasons with the Cavaliers. He owns a 36-38 or 22-27 ACC record since arriving for the 2016 season after 11 as BYU's head coach. The 55-year-old Mendenhall did not rule out a return to coaching in the future, but said that I needed to step back from college football and reassess, renew, reframe, and reinvent with my wife as a partner our future and the next chapter of our lives. Now, Cavaliers have been eligible to play in bowl games over each of the last 5 seasons after not previously making a bowl since 2011. Mendenhall's most successful campaign came in 2019 when Virginia finished 9-5, 6-2 in the ACC, won the Coastal Division, and played in the program's first New Year's Six bowl game.
Here are 2 students who support Kyle Rittenhouse.
So, there you go. Okay, let's take you to our international sports. And we go big time. Okay. In the Premier League, Tottenham Hotspur over Brentford 2-0. Manchester United over Arsenal 3-2. Scottish Premiership, Celtic beat Heart of Midlothian 1-0. Spanish Copa del Rey, Las Palmas over Velez 3-2. Eibar over Guernica 2-1. Real Vallecano and Guijuelo tied at 1. Real Vallecano won, however, on 4-3 on penalties. Levante 8, Huracán Melilla 0. Osasuna over San Agustin de Guadalix 4-0. Malaga over Penisport 3-0. Same score for Valencia and Utrilis. Valencia beating Utrilis 3-0. Girona beat Calvo Sotelo 5-1. Crystal Atletico over Real Union 2-0. Italian cities A, Torino and Empoli tied at 2, and Lazio and Udinese tied at 4. Finally, Dutch soccer, Alkmaar over Fortuna Sittard 2-1, and Ajax beat Willem II 5-0, and that is your big time score. Now, let's go to our media report, and already things have started to cook. That's right. ESPN was originally scheduled to broadcast Friday evening's game between the Lakers and the Clippers, and LeBron was sidelined indefinitely after entering the NBA's COVID-19 health and safety. Along with that is the fact that the Clippers don't have Kawhi Leonard as he recovers from a torn ACL, and the marquee game is missing its 2 most marquee names. Couple that with the fact that the Golden State Warriors and Phoenix Suns are also playing Friday night. The 2 hottest teams in the National Basketball Association are coming off an electric matchup on Tuesday as the Suns extended their 17-game winning streak with a 104-96 win that was watched by an average of 2.4 million viewers, the biggest audience for any non-opening night regular season TNT game since 2019, according to Turner Sport. You have to imagine that a rematch so soon after is going to draw eyeballs as well. So ESPN did what you'd probably expect them to do. They decided to flex out the Lakers-Clippers game so they could broadcast the Warriors and Suns rematch instead. While that might not be terribly shocking, it's worth noting all the same as the NBA and Western Conference landscape shifts. There was, however, a bit of a twist on Thursday when James was reinstated immediately after it was determined that the previous test was a false positive. The development seemed to confirm the meaning behind LeBron's fishy tweet on Wednesday. Of course, that means that LeBron will be back in uniform on Friday when the Lakers take on the Clippers. ESPN already made the decision to flex the Warriors-Sun game instead, But it does make you wonder if knowledge that James would be in the lineup would have shifted their thinking. Possibly. Does knowing LeBron is playing outweigh the full impact of Warrior versus Suns in the minds of the ESPN viewer? Maybe not in this case. But it's hard to know for sure. For anybody thinking there's some kind of conspiracy theory at work, it's worth noting that LeBron and the Lakers will not be absent from national television and all that much. In fact, more than half the Lakers games this season will be available to the entire nation, so it's not really something worth worrying about or even talking about. So there you go. All right. And how's this for, I want to say close-up irony, but here we go. The WFAN makeover took on a whole new level on Thursday as the New York Post Tiki Barber and Brandon Tierney will be replacing Maggie Gray and Mark Malusis as the New York Sports Talk station's new midday team in 2022. Tiki and Tierney, who are already based in New York, have been holding down the afternoon drive time slot for CBS Sports Radio Network in a simulcast with CBS Sports Network for the last 8 years. That nationally syndicated afternoon show will end this month. Both hosts are very familiar to New York sports fans for different reasons. Barber spent 10 seasons with the Giants and retired in 2006 as a franchise all-time rushing reception leader. He has since tried to carve out a career in the media and entertainment, leaving a decidedly bad taste in the mouth of many viewers. He's rehabbed his public image mostly by staying out of the public eye and focusing on his broadcast career. Tierney, a radio veteran who hails from Brooklyn, worked for years at ESPN and has hosted various New York Knicks pregame, halftime, and postgame shows. He also worked in Detroit as well. The two take over the coveted 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. time slot that leads into the Carton and Roberts afternoon drive show. An inability to maintain enough of a ratings liftoff is reportedly behind WFAN's interest in bringing Tiki and Tierney to replace the current midday show hosted by Maggie Gray and Mark Malusis. The writing appeared to have been on the wall for some time for Maggie and Moose, and Thursday's show was in fact the last one for Gray. Gray did take to Twitter after the news broke to say the next chapter is about to begin, implying there's a new opportunity coming soon. According to Marchand, she is expected to have another role with FAN or its parent company, Odyssey, while Malusis could go back to part-time hosting. Wow. One person happy to hear about the situation may be James Dolan. The owner of the Knicks had a very public spat with WFAN over a rant by Gray in 2018 when she referred to him as a vile piece of trash, among other things. Barber and Tierney are the latest hires in a revamped, back down please, lineup that WFAN hopes can help them keep ahead of ESPN New York and other competitors. The station recently hired Keith McPherson as a replacement for longtime evening host Steve Summers and gave Sal Luketa the overnight slot. Wow. That's all I got to say on that. Wow. Okay, and by the way, Beth Mullins will be the first woman play-by-play announcer to call a regular season NBA game for ESPN. And Fox released another trailer for All Madden, premiering on Christmas Day. All right. We got one more little segment to go. And that is, of course, more of our international show. So here we go. Let's go international, folks. Let's do this international bit right here, right now. Two soccer scores for note. Torino and Empoli tied at 2. Lazio and Udinese tied at 4. Let's do the Euro League from Europe in basketball. CSKA Moscow over Panathinaikos, 97-77. Fenerbahce over Monaco, 96-86. Zalgiris Canuas over Baskonia 72-68. Bayern over Leon Villeban 73-65. Real Madrid over Maccabi Tel Aviv 72-70. In Swedish hockey, Skellefteå over Farajad 6-3. Växjö over Linkopings 2-1. In penalty time, Lulia over Frölunda 3-2. Orbro over Leksands 3-1. Oskarshamn over Djurgårdens 5-2. Rogel over Byrons 4-2. And Tamura over Malmo 4-2. And after the second intermission, it is Calgary 3, Los Angeles Kings 2. In Finland, Hämeenlinna over Lukko in overtime 2-1, and Turku over Karpat 4-3. Wowsy, wowsy, woo, woo-de, woo, woo. Yes, friends. And we are just about out of time. We want to thank you all for tuning in. We will be back Friday night at 11:35 for more of this here show called Sports Final. So for everybody here at the Fred McLeod Sports Desk at the Tom O'Neill Studios, I'm Steve Baxman Baxley for Harry and all of our gang here. Have a great evening on the West Coast. Have a great early morning on the East. Go sleepy now. And don't forget to count that sheep because sheep are important. Thanks, everybody, for watching. Good night. God bless and be well. This has been a presentation of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the fun-loving folk known as the L2C Media presentation of of Mystifying Creativity Productions in association with the fun-loving folks at L2C Media Network. I forgot the line. You realize? And association with L2C Sports. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Thank you, everybody, for viewing. Good night and good morning all over the world. Bye-bye, everybody. See you tomorrow night, 11:35.